Hello devs, welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about setting up Vue.js in a local environment. So to get started, you'll need one of the prerequisites is you'll need Node.js. So you can just confirm by just writing node-v. This should be able to give a node version. You need npm. So npm node, those are the prerequisites. So if you install node, you'll get npm. So another thing, you can also use third party which are not included in node. So you can use burn, or you can use yarn, or even pnpm. So personally I use pnpm, and that's what you're going to be using here. So for you to install Node.js, you'll head over to nodejs.org, this one here. So from here you'll be able to be shown this. So from here you can proceed to download. There are different packages for each and every system. So if you are on Linux, you can run this command in your CLI, and if in case you are on Windows or Mac, it will be something different. So you can see here now they're using NVM for default node version management. I think NVM is one of the version managers for Node.js. So you can change the node version here, but I'll go with the LTS version. Then you can switch your operating system from here. So with me, I already have a node installed, and also I have pnpm also installed. So to install pnpm, you can just head over to pnpm.io. Then they have instruction on how to install based on different operating systems. So you can find out how you can install it from here. If you have an alternative of using yarn, be sure to check the yarn homepage and look on how to get started with the installation. And also this has just the normal way of installing other packages. If you prefer burn, then now you can head over to burn.sh, and you'll be able to get this command for setting up burn in a local environment. So there are so many ways you can always run your Node.js application, but for us, we already have a Node and pnpm. So for the editor, we'll be using VS Code. So many of you have heard of VS Code. So you can just head over to Visual Studio Code, code.visualstudio.com. Then on the download section, you'll have this here. So for different versions, you'll either have Windows, Linux, and the Mac versions. So for me, I already have the Visual Studio Code installed, so I'll just proceed to use it. So I'll be using the builder version, the insider version, so it contains the latest updates, but that doesn't stop us from running whatever we're going to be doing here. So here's my terminal. I'm already in a given folder where I'm going to be having those projects. So for us to create a Vue project, we can just head over to Vue.js, Vuejs.org. Then we can now get started. So there's the installation, but just wait. introduction. Is there a way to quick start this thing? Yeah, so for us to get started, you can head over to the quick start section. Then you can either go to the playground where you can just write your SP single pages in the browser, but for this you're going to be using our local environment. So to get started, you'll come to this section, and we're not using npm, so I'll select on npm. Then they'll give me this command, which I'll copy, then come back to the command line, paste, then press enter. Then what will the project name? Let's say view project 001. Let's call it 001. So do you want TypeScript? I'll go with yes. Support JSX, I just select yes. Add view router, I will select no. Then add opinion state management, I'll also select no. Then add vtest for unit testing, I'll select no. Then down here we have this end-to-end testing, I will just select no. Then add ESLint for code quality, no. Add view devtools 7, I think this will select yes. Then now it has created this folder, so what we need to copy this command, then paste here, then run. This should install all the required dependencies that you need for this project, so it will take a bit of time. So everything is already installed, so for us to open this, we can just copy link and paste it here. In the meantime, we can close other tabs, then we paste that local URL here. So if you check here, I will have this starter page, and for this starter page you'll see that what says just we have a boilerplate for everything that we have to start with. So you can see we have here vit which is now with the view 3. So we're using view 3, and for view 3 is now where we use the so-called composition API, which is now the new way of writing Vue.js. So that's all about setting up the project locally. So we can just cancel this. Then I'm usually used to running these projects in port 3000, so let me just open it in Code Insiders. Open it in VS Code. So I'll just trust this. So when you get here, what you'll get, you'll see we have this SFC, SRC folder. So this is the folder structure for the Vue.js, node modules for storing the modules. We have VS Code where we have the extensions. So default they'll set up this recommended extension. So when you install a project, they recommend this. Then our VS Code will prompt you for the the extensions that they are opting that you can use for running your Vue project. So here we have the public folder. Here now where you put your public assets. This folder is usually served directly to the browser without changing anything. So it's served at we can say server level. So if you're running on your port 3000 or whichever port you're running on, then you can just go // then you can access an asset directly from there. So if we move down to the source folder, you can see we have the assets. So assets is now where you put your the assets that you're going to use for this. So assets include CSS styles, you can include your images, and you can also include fonts. So the nice thing of putting the assets here is to just make sure that whenever we are going to do the compilation, it makes sure that we whatever is here will be minified at the point of building. So if now we have the public, whatever is in the public is not built, or it's not changed at the point of building the application, but whatever is in the asset folder will be compiled and minified at the point of building your application, so making that bundle size to be smaller. So you can see here we have our main.css, and you import base, which is this one. So this is just what is showing here. So that's the style for whatever is showing here. So if I get back here, you can see we have logo.svg, we have main. So this will just remove them in a bit. So if you get to the components folder, this is now where we house our components. We have the welcome item. Let's just stop this for now. So we have the icons. So here you can see we have icons that are in Vue.js format. I'll show you where to get these icons. So you have your list of icons in here, which are now components. Then you have the hello world component, which is also here. We have the welcome, and we also have welcome item. So at the moment you can see nothing is highlighted here. We don't know whether this is the correct syntax or what, so we don't have any syntax highlighting. So next thing we need to do here, what I recommend usually, go to the extension side. So once you go to the extension, I just put all this. So you can see Vue is already highlighted here. So what I'll do is to click on this Vue official, install. Once this is installed, next you'll see, if now I come to this, you'll see now the syntax highlighting has changed. So another thing you'll realize, these icons I'll need to change. This have material. So let me just install material icon so that these folders look a bit different. So let me just switch to material. Then now you can see the folder icons now look different than the file icons looks different. So there's like a distinction between what we have here. So next, once we have that set up, we can now next is to remove. So let's move sequentially. So okay, so in the current they already set up the alias, so you don't need to worry about setting this up. So you will have to just import using whatever you import from, let's say this. You can use the art components and this should still work. So if I scroll a bit, you'll see I get this sticky. So there are two ways I can do the changes. So for this project I just don't want the sticky things, you can just come to its you create a file here known as settings.json. then now you just add your JSON, then you can now add whatever properties you want to set here. So let's say you need to disable sticky, so you can just start writing sticky. So sticky scroll enabled, I just make it false. Then can sticky we can hover sticky is necessary. Then we can, let's look for what is not really necessary here. Editor hover sticky, terminal, sticky scroll enabled, paste it false. Then we can sticky, so enable sticky scroll, disable that, false. Then if we come back here, if now we scroll, you can see we scroll everything. So I just like disabling that, all of it, so that I don't have any wraps here. So let's just do some cleanup of everything. So we'll remove all this, delete. So once you delete everything, we'll remain with this, only this. Then, so it's quite a pain to write. If you're writing Vue and you want to write script, you'll see there's a lot of hassle. So I recommend you install a plugin known as Vue snippets. So I'll go for the snippets which are written by Sarah Drasner. So she's one of the greatest people in the JavaScript ecosystem, and so I like her snippets, but still you can also create your own snippets from this. So just install. Once you install, then now you can so from here yeah, so you can just remove everything from here, so we are left with this empty file. So then you can just write Vue, then I can write vbase 3ts setup. So if I click on that, then I just have my h1 hello world. So once I have that set up, then I can, if I switch back here, it's not connected. So so then I can just run dev, but I need us to change some things here. So come to package.json, run in the dev section, write dev I open port, change port to 3000. So I won't make it auto open, but if you want it to auto open, you can just add open. So if you add open, this will automatically open up in your default browser. So for this I won't add open, so I just change the port to 3000. And if you like, you can also do a custom host by adding host or -h. Then you can have, let's say, some vue.com.local. So if you have this custom setup host in your machine, you can always run a custom host on it, but we are not going to do that for now. Sorry for my voice. So now I can just run yarn dev, or because we are using pnpm, I just run pnpm dev. Then you'll see it's opened in this. So I'll just hover, then we can head over to 3000. Then you'll see we have hello world printed out here. So this is now whatever we have put in the other side. So for us to get rid of all the styles, we'll need to just go to assets, go to base, remove this base, delete. Then the logo also we can delete because it's not necessary at the moment. In the main we can just remove everything. Then now we can, if we get back to here, then you can see we have hello world in our browser. So let's complete navigating the folder structure. So I've already shown you how to disable sticky scroll in case you don't like it in the settings.json. Next we explored the source folder and the components. So I've removed all the components here because later on we'll be building on them. So next to this app, so this app is the one now we are now using to set up the whole project. So if you come here to main, you see we import app from app.view. Then we import our assets. So from our assets folder we import main.css. Then that one now should be directly injected in the DOM. But main thing here is there's this create app function where now you pass your app component, which now houses everything. Then you run a mount, and whatever you mount here is now the ID. Hash ID now represent hash app represent the ID that is assigned in the HTML where we're doing the injection. But let's say if you have here, if you come to this index.html, you'll see we have div with this ID. But if I wanted to maybe change this, Control V, then let me just say maybe view app. So if I change that to view app, you'll see nothing renders here. And if now I take this and come place it in the main, then we should expect some changes here. So you can just change it the way you wish. It's not necessary you retain it the way you found it, but you can always switch if you wish. Yeah, so I think that does it for the setup part. And let's just restore what we had here, save, then now we should be good to go. So that will do it for the setup, not unless there's any other thing that I haven't touched on that we are supposed to look at, but the rest will start now tackling as we progress. So until the next video, see ya.